It was honestly the greatest decision I have ever made in my entire life. This show has given me a lot of community and a lot of self-love and a lot of, it has showed me my priorities and the things that I care about in this world.
I think there are a lot of places, especially in like rehearsal for acting and stuff like that, where it can become a little bit judgmental, but this was like one of the most open, just places for play like I've ever encountered.
Being able to really connect with every dancer in the show and like really be able to be so present with them and with their process and coach them and push them, and to see the growth at the show was like, who is that, with everyone who went on stage. Like it was just so like satisfying and just such a like beautiful validation of all the hard work that was put in and all the vulnerability that was put in. I just think everyone just worked really hard, and just being able to be there for those moments where there was grit and there was perseverance and there was just people challenging themselves. I think I definitely enjoyed being able to have those close moments.
For me, there wasn't too much pressure because hip-hop was just my comfort and like what I do, it's who I am. However, it was definitely a bit of pressure because it's like, will people find this fitting for the show, or like will people find this like acceptable for the Because I'm a Girl show? Just because I feel like a lot of people look at hip-hop and think of it as like a manly and masculine type of thing, but I don't think there's anything more empowering than two girls doing a male-dominant dance genre.
My piece was a dance piece that was about that feeling of when you're in a group full of just a bunch of men, and how I feel like it's hard for me to get my voice heard, and oftentimes I feel almost naked. It's just this feeling of feeling so vulnerable and exposed, and like no one can hear you but everyone can see you in a way that I wouldn't really want to be seen without my permission. So it was kind of just exploring that feeling and me really sitting in that and letting myself deal with the fact that that is a feeling that I have, but I can overcome it.
My piece was called I Am Autism, and it was a monologue that I wrote about what it is like to be autistic, and specifically what it's like to be autistic and be born a woman, and expectations and stereotypes that are forced on you, and what it makes other people think of you, and what it means to me to be autistic. The majority of my creative process was done individually. So I worked with Stella and Samaya because they were the spoken word directors, and they said that they wanted me to do it like individually, because since neither of them were on the spectrum, they felt it was important that it was my voice alone.
I wrote a spoken word piece called Stop Me If You Heard This One Before. It's about yellow fever, which has become really, really bad in recent years with the rise of popular Asian culture, especially like anime and K-pop and stuff like that. And then it's at a really weird time where there's also been a lot of Asian like hate and discrimination because of the coronavirus. So it's like a really weird experience to be Asian and be wanted but not really for you, but then also hated for the same things. It's just really, really confusing.
Pray anymore because God taught you how the rest of the joke goes. Self-respect and loneliness walk into a bar.
Being super conscious in the moment that this is a time that I would never forget is like just such a surreal and beautiful thing to experience.
Never question. Misleading introspection. Do we like that? Oh, to be a black woman, to know how the story goes. My eloquence will impress him, but my body's unimpressive.
I felt like whole in my body, and I feel like that missing
piece of me that I think I always kind of wondered about was built and like was complete.
Thank you for allowing me to like have this opportunity and for letting me to like put my original work out into the world and getting to work with other people and just be this this head director that's like allowed to like have creative like freedom and flexibility and just being like part of the bigger picture in this community. Because I know in grade 10 like I always like looked up to the directors and like wondered what they went through, and then going through it was like, this is like such like a massive like accomplishment that I get to have and like will forever live with. So yeah, just kind of like thank you for that. Me and Miss Morehouse had a lot of heart-to-hearts. I think the time that we produced this show in was very difficult in a lot of different areas. Not related to the show, so like it was difficult at times to like show up as I was in rehearsal when like I wasn't doing well. So it was like a lifesaver to have Miss Morehouse, I feel like, kind of as all of our rocks, to just be able to like reset and come from a place of love and gratitude, even if like it was hard for us to feel that in the moment. And like I think she just really centered the energy of a lot of it. So that was special.
That was the second year I've performed in Because I Am a Girl. I performed in it once in grade 9. And actually, now that I think back on it, I'm pretty sure I actually used the same powwow song. And like, I don't know how to explain it. I remember in grade 9, I didn't end up crying when I got off the stage. But like this year, there was something different about it. Like when I got off that stage and I came into that backstage wing, I just started like sobbing and I was crying. And it wasn't tears of being like upset, but like so incredibly happy that I could be a part of something so powerful that like promotes this amazing community to come together.
Working with the cast was like the best kind of friendship that I've ever had. Each and every one of them I felt so comfortable with, and I think that's the most part I'm gonna miss about the entire show is just working on it with everyone.
Some people who worked together had never even met, and then we threw them together and they created something that was incredible, and it was really humbling to witness and to even like be able to give notes to them and help them along with the journey. It was very lovely.
It felt like a lot of things. I feel like it just felt like a mix of a bunch of emotions that I knew, but like didn't understand the magnitude of how that was gonna feel in the moment. Like I'd been on stage before, but to be in this specific position, like knowing all the pieces about to go on and knowing a bunch of people in the audience as well, it was just a really like overwhelming reunion of so many different things that you care about at once. But it was really beautiful, and it was like holding back tears the whole time, but like happy tears, and just like knowing that this is like being super conscious in the moment that this is a time that I would never forget is like just such a surreal and beautiful thing to experience.
An embodiment of who I am, to reimagine the life I planned, and you're not getting in the way of the person I've become today. I am beautiful, I am brave, I'm strong in every which way, and I have come to truly see the beautiful embodiment of me.
I speak from the heart.
Redo!
Come on, guys.